Hello all and welcome to my channel. Did you know the average new car price is up to $1,000 a month? Yes, $1,000 a month is how much money people are spending for a stupid depreciating asset. It's just a car. It gets it from point A to point B, but people keep on insisting on buying themselves a brand new car, rolling up all this negative equity and just compounding it so much, and then they're complaining that they're not going to be able to retire and they're living paycheck to paycheck because a vehicle, guys, is the #1 wealth killer. Well, CNBC recently did a video that explained so many statistics about having a new car and what is the current problem people are having in these current times with getting a vehicle and why it's so expensive and difficult to get. But before I get to this video, guys, please take your time to hit the like. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and with your help, I will certainly get there. Now, let me not keep you guys waiting and let me get straight to this video. Guys, you don't know how much I cringe when I find out how much these stupid wealth killer vehicles go for.
Here are a few numbers that illustrate how tough it has become. Just 10 years ago, car payments were nearly half of what they are today. The average is $760 a month right now, but quite a few customers pay more than that. A near record number are paying over $1,000 a month and have been for 4 straight quarters.
The idea of you're going to pay, $700, $800 a month for the next 6 years. I mean, it's just, it just sounds crazy for a depreciating asset.
Can we just call it what it is? It's just stupidity. It's stupid. It's just dumb. Why would you want to get a vehicle, guys, that costs $1,000 a month? I mean, come on. You're going to be so tight driving around in this vehicle worrying about if it gets scratched, if it gets dinged. Then you want to wash it. Then you got to pay for your car insurance. Then you got to pay for your registration. Then if you get this fancy car, you can't just get regular gas. You got to get premium. Oh, man, why? Why do people refuse to just buy one car, hold on to it, make that be your beat up car, or you could just drive around and just beat that car up, and then maybe you get another one later on when you save up for it? Because, guys, it's only 5 years. It's only 5 years of making a payment, and when it's done, it's yours. How much damage could you do to a car within 5 years? Not that much. Okay, I don't know if you're driving cross country, but you don't have to do so much damage in 5 years where you could keep that car, and at least you have one car that is fully paid off, and you can ride that car up till the wheels fall off, and as soon as you're done paying that, you save whatever payments you're making for a new car. That way you're not continually spending all this money and interest and all this nonsense for a vehicle. It's just absurd.
It is almost like borderline disturbing how acclimated everyone has gotten to the idea that, you know what, I've got 700, I've got 1,000, I've got all these dollar figures that other people will say, hey, that's my rent, hey, that's my mortgage from 10 years ago.
Having high car payments and having just a ridiculously car payment is reminding me a lot of what people with student loans, where they're saying, well, I want to go to college, I want to get a good education, so I'm going to rack up all this amount of student loans because in the end I could just pay it off. And you look around and everyone is doing it. Everyone has student loans. So you're saying, well, I see people in the street driving nice cars, so how are they getting it? No, they're not saving up cash. No, get out of here. They're getting loans. So you turn around, you get a loan, and you feel like it's okay. Until you start having conversations with people saying, you know what, my car is paid off. I don't believe in having car payments because it's the #1 wealth killer. Then you're like, okay. But then you turn around, there's like 10 other people saying they do have a car payment, and now you're venting with them saying how expensive it is. Is this becoming normalized to have a vehicle that's extremely expensive? And listen, guys, there's affordable vehicles out there that's really good with gas and it's a lot cheaper because they do make vehicles a lot cheaper. But for some reason, everyone wants a new, latest gadget. They want the big truck that makes a lot of noise. They want to just burn a whole bunch of fuel, and then they turn around and they start complaining that what? They want to get rid of it because they hate it.
So payments are high, and it's not just because of inflation. Car payments rose twice as much as overall inflation from 2019 to 2024. 2 things drove this: high prices and high interest rates. High prices hit the used vehicle market first, where dealers can pretty much charge whatever they can get for a car. But soon they made their way into the new car market, which was hit by a severe shortage of new vehicles and parts. As manufacturing shut down around the world during the COVID pandemic, shortages popped up everywhere. First of cars in 2020, then of parts like semiconductors in 2021 and 2022. With supply so tight and demand so high, dealers and automakers didn't need to offer any incentives. Charging at or above MSRP was common. Anyone who bought a car, pretty much at any point in the last 4 years, paid historically high prices.
Let me share with you a story a friend of mine had, because it reminds me of this whole situation that's going on right now. A friend of mine is a very good negotiator. Very good negotiator. Every time he goes out and buys a car, he has like a straight face. He's just like very serious, and he's quite intimidating. He's kind of tall as well, so he's really intimidating. And he usually gets the price down to a point where he feels comfortable with, and he pays for a lot of those vehicles in cash. Well, he told me 2 years ago, after a little after the whole COVID situation, but still, as you saw, they were having shortages and dealerships were just increasing the prices of vehicles as much as possible. He went to a dealership. As soon as he opened his mouth, he told me, and it's above MSRP. Wow, I'm gonna leave. Okay, bye. He left, went somewhere else. The same thing. He told me his ability to negotiate was just done. This was the new norm for the price of vehicles, above MSRP, period. There was no negotiating. So you could imagine, guys, so many people who are struggling, trying to get a car, or the car is broken down, that's it. It's just, they need a new car. Now they have to step into this situation to get a vehicle that's above MSRP. And to make matters even worse, if the credit is not that good, now you're gonna get a subprime loan. So now you're getting the most highest of the highest interest, and you're getting a car that's already going to become extremely expensive, that as soon as you start driving it, the depreciation of it, and you're going to be underwater for like pretty much the whole damn time you have the vehicle while you're making your payments. Now, that's it. That is the new norm, and it's insane. And yes, people are saying, well, because of inflation, the car industry got hit so hard, it has nothing to do with inflation. Well, it has a tinge of it to do with inflation, but not a whole lot, as you saw in the video. Inflation went up 20%, but not for the vehicles. They went up 40% in the past 5 years total. So that's letting you know, guys, a vehicle is getting really, really expensive, and the consequences of having a vehicle and destroying your wealth is just increasing.
The Federal Reserve set its target interest rate at 5.25% to 5.5% in July 2023. That isn't the actual rate someone will pay for a car loan or mortgage, but it does affect the overall cost of borrowing. Today, auto loan rates are just above 7%. In March 2022, before the Fed started raising rates, they were closer to 4%.
I actually got lucky, and when I had gotten my loan for my vehicle, that is not paid off, and I still drive it, it was around 2.99%. As soon as I paid that bad boy off, COVID started happening, I held on to that vehicle. Still to this day, have that vehicle. And I'm not willing to let it go. 2015 Nissan Sentra. Few things about it I don't like for one particular reason. I don't know why, but when it gets really hot down here, I'm in Florida, the LED, the lights within my radio, I could hardly see anything. Every time people come in my car, I'm like, oh, that's just ridiculous. You gotta do something about it. Now it's probably time to get a new car. Listen, I am not getting a new car just because when it's really hot outside, I cannot see what's playing on my radio, okay? I don't give a damn. It's not worth paying all that interest and having a depreciating asset just because the lights on my radio is not working. But there's people out there who find every little excuse to make an upgrade to a new vehicle. And I am not one of them. I am extremely happy with my vehicle, had no problems with it, gets me in and out of work, gets me around town, perfect. And let me tell you something, guys, there's no better feeling of having a vehicle with no payment. It feels so good. I see this video, I cringe, and I repeat to myself, I am so happy that I pay zero, nada, zero, nothing for my car. I love it.
It's a significant jump. Not only are people paying more for their auto loan, but they're also paying more for the price of the car. So that combined higher prices plus higher loan rates makes car affordability particularly challenging for a lot of people trying to buy a car these days.
Yeah, that is the compound effect, unfortunately, what's going on right now. You got the high interest rate, you got the high cost of vehicles, they're all just increasing together. And when you buy a vehicle, it's just the worst time. It really is just the worst time to buy a vehicle. To be honest with you guys, I don't really know if it's gonna get better, because it feels like throughout time that I noticed throughout my life is whenever things get ridiculously high, it becomes the new norm. Remember, guys, the dealership is in there to make money. The auto industry is there to make money. They're not going to be so eager to just drop the price down just because the feds dropped the rate. Unless, the only thing that can make this change is unless people start demanding the prices to go down. And the only way you could do that is by not buying these expensive vehicles at the current price that they're at. The problem is a lot of people are not. A lot of people are in a tough situation and they want everything now. They don't want to wait, and they want to get a vehicle today. Because let me tell you something, guys, those new cars are really nice. You walk into that dealership, man, these dealers, they know exactly what they're doing. Those salesmen could get you in a car, make you feel like you are king or queen in that car. And next thing you know, you say, I could afford that monthly payment. You know what? I could make it work. And then they got you.
In addition, an alarming trend has taken root within a segment of borrowers. Those who decide to get a new car when the one they're driving is worth less than the money they owe on it. Something called negative equity. The average amount on those trade-ins hit an all-time high in the first quarter of 2024. Almost 25% of purchases were made by customers with negative equity, nearly 10% more than just a couple years earlier. Rolling that negative equity into a new loan comes with bigger payments at higher interest rates over longer terms. And trade-ins involving negative equity have only gotten more expensive over time.
Okay, if there's one thing you would get from this video and from my advice is this. You never, ever roll a vehicle that's negative equity, or they also say underwater, to a new loan. You are just magnifying the problem and making it worse. Because now, with the vehicle prices being as high as it is, we already know it's overpriced. MSRP, way over. Now you make it even worse by bringing that, let's say $6,000, like you said, average. Now you're putting that on top. So all those payments that you're making and your vehicle just dropping tremendously, but because it's a depreciating asset, you're not going to catch up. And then guess what you're going to do? You're going to get very tempted because you did it once. You're going to do it again. You're going to roll that negative equity, which now turned to possibly $6,000 to like $12,000 or $13,000 to another loan. And now, guys, for your whole life, you're just rolling around a vehicle that owns you. You think you're driving that vehicle, but that vehicle is driving you. Your wealth is being driven straight to the bottom. You're going to lose all your money. You're going to gain no wealth. You're not going to be able to invest and live paycheck to paycheck. And all you're going to do is work for a stupid vehicle. So, guys, out of everything in this video, please do me one favor. Pay off your car. Take care of it. Maintenance, repairs. I don't even care if your repair is $2,000. There's nothing worse than carrying negative equity on another vehicle by rolling whatever's going on with your car to another loan. There's nothing worse than that. And hands down, there's nothing worse than a vehicle when it comes to killing your wealth.